Magic, baby! Let's go! A blowout victory against the Houston Rockets. The Orlando Magic get business done in the home opener, 116-86. David Steele said it at the end of the game. It's the largest margin of victory for a home opener, and hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, that portends many more wins to come. There were so many storylines in this one. I really don't know where to start, but, let's start with the German Wonder Kid, shall we? Okay, yeah. It was a little bit squirrely there in the beginning, but Franz Wagner came through. He got hot early. He hit a nice step-back three and then a fake with a dribble and another three. He got hot early, hitting 3 of 3 in that first quarter, and we desperately needed that because you could tell the jitters were a little bit happening early, shall we say. But once that got off, wow, this team just hit the floor running. Franz Wagner, 19 points, 5 of 11, 3 of 7 from 3, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Like to see Franz Wagner getting to the line. That was fantastic to see. Gotta talk about Jalen Suggs, baby. Wow. I mean, I've been pushing for Jalen Suggs. I know Dylan is happy today. Our boy Dylan Holden is stoked right now. He's been pushing for Jalen Suggs for quite some time. We've been pushing the propaganda on Court Cousins. Peach couldn't be with me. He's doing some hockey stuff. I'm Kyle. Probably should have said that at the beginning. Hey, I'm rusty too. You know what I'm saying? It's the beginning of the season. But Suggs, the defense was immediately felt, shut down Jeff Green, had him looking squirrely early, harassing him, and then knocking down threes on the other end of the floor. That was the question for Jalen Suggs. We saw the sample size at the end of the year. I think he shot 36% from the last 30 games from beyond the arc. And he came in tonight, had 8 points. Not so great, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc, but the shot looks good. I think it's going to fall. And man, he is just so disruptive on the defensive end of the ball. He causing some turnovers, getting easy buckets. He and Markelle on the perimeter are going to be quite the tandem. And then let's go to our sixth man, that second unit, starting it off. Cole Anthony just inked the 3-year, $39 million. And boy, does that look pretty after tonight's performance from Cole Anthony. The numbers don't lie tonight for Cole Anthony. 20 points, 8 of 12 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, plus 17. The highest plus-minus on the team. If Peach were here, that would probably be his plus-minus moment of the game. If Cole's going to do this, he could be in the running for 6th man of the year. Super efficient, 8 of 12. Well, my math isn't great, but that's 2/3. That's 66% from the floor. That's pretty good last time I checked. We had the first Is This Anything of the year from David Steele. I thought it was well-fitting. I thought it was a good Is This Anything. He brought up the fact that the Orlando Magic have more players playing tonight that they've drafted than any other team in the league. 9 players on this Orlando Magic roster that we have drafted. There were some other teams in the mix that you'd expect. I think the Rockets might have been on there. You had like the Spurs, the Thunder, of course, those types of teams that are in the rebuild mode. But you saw the Golden State Warriors, and that's kind of the gold standard. And that's what we're pushing for. And we see now everything starting to coalesce with Cole Anthony getting onto his second contract, which is a very team-friendly deal. Just looking at the contract, do I have a percentage? It's never going to be more than 9% of the salary cap, going down to 7% in that 26-27 year, which is a club option. So that's the type of stuff that you can build around. Jalen Suggs he's ascending, all right? This is the ascendance of Jalen Suggs, becoming maybe not quite the pillar piece. Maybe he's not the star that we hope Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero are going to be, but he is still, I think, a starter piece. And if we can, he's going to be on his next contract soon. Wow, the team is really starting to take shape. I know you're excited just like me. It's tough getting these words out. I'm just so excited. Let's see, what's next? A little bit on the Rockets. Jeff Green, I think he just needs to go full bald. He's holding on. Just go full Mr. Clean. I think it will look good. Handsome guy. Just go for it. Do the piece. Just accept it. The bald is just the vivacious. The ladies like the bald these days, Jeff. I think you should just go in, and it'll be a good move for you. I didn't know Reggie Bullock was a junior. Was anyone else thrown by that one when David Steele said Bullock Jr.? Has he always been going by Bullock Jr.? Or did he just like get a father in the offseason or like a new stepdad? I don't know what's happening there. Or maybe he had a son. A lot of times guys like to do that, to be like, yeah, I had a son and now he's going to be the third. So that's happening. The witch doctor Şengün, I wish Peach were on here right now to talk about Şengün, Alperen Şengün, as we like to call him, the witch doctor, whispering to the ball at the foul line. Very creepy. His spells did not work tonight. They backfired. They lost by 30. So he's going to have to work on those spells a little bit more, but damn, he's a good player. He's a really good player. The Rockets looked out of sorts. I mean, you can tell they had new pieces in. They have a new coach. And they'll get it together. I think they're going to be a better team than I like some of their people. I like Fred VanVleet. He came on in the third quarter. I got a little bit worried there as he came out, hit 3 threes in a row. Dylan Brooks hit a few, but man, he's a crappy player. They way overpaid for him. That is a bad, bad contract. That's going to come back and bite them in the posterior. Let's now go back to the Magic. The Minister of Defense was proselytizing all over the floor tonight, converting the heathen savages and blocking shots left and right. It was good to see Jonathan Isaac back there, man. He played, over what we've seen him play, let's see, 14 minutes. So that's good. What was it? In the 11 games he played, I don't think we saw him for much over 10 minutes. He looked good. He took some contact. He went to the hole hard. Let's look at the stat line here. 4 boards, 1 block they only got him for. I don't know about that. 11 points in 14 minutes. He is a game changer. Love what he brings. And it just, we're knocking on wood. We're praying to any deity that will listen. We just hope he stays healthy because he could really be a huge, huge difference maker on this team. Let's see. Anthony Black, we didn't see much. We got to see the rookies a little bit tonight, but they're not going to see much time. Jet Howard, Anthony Black, that whole third unit, it's going to be tough for them to see minutes on this very deep Orlando Magic team. We've talked in previous years about the depth of this team. I know last year our second unit a lot of times would get us into games. That's really going to be the case this year. Loved seeing Gary Harris with that second unit next to Cole Anthony, Joe Ingles providing some spacing, Jonathan Isaac there with Moritz Wagner. And I'm just going to put the take out there. I want Goga Bitadze as the center. I'm sorry. I mean, Moritz can get hot once in a while from 3. He's probably a little bit more dynamic of an offensive player, but I don't know, man. Goga's nice around the bucket, and I like what he brings a little bit more. I want more on the boards, although it definitely was not an issue tonight. We dominated the boards, 56-31. Our largest lead was 30. The bench points, that second unit that we've been talking about, led by Cole Anthony, won the match 61-27. That was the bench points. Turnovers have been a sticking point for this coaching staff. Those were at 16, still a little high, but hey, it's the first game of the season. So I know I'm jumping all over, but the first unit looked pretty dang good. Wendell Carter, solid, man. He is so good. I mean, we get him at the foul line, running the offense, doing that horn set. He is just dynamic, man. He was upset at times. I think he wasn't getting some calls that he could. He was off a little bit, but I love what I see from him. 8 points, 8 boards, pretty quiet night. Another pretty quiet night from Markelle Fultz. I took him to get over 14 points, and he didn't. 10 points, 4 boards, 2 assists. That first unit is really solid, but the depth, I think, is where we're going to separate ourselves from other teams and get some victories here because that second unit is deep and very talented. let's talk about this. And this might be, you can ream me out in the comments if you'd like. But Paolo Banchero looks a little flat, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. All right, I know it's the first game. Okay, you can come at me in the comments, but I don't know, man. I'm just gonna chalk it up to game one, but I'm gonna put it out there. I don't love that he was doing the USA basketball playing the 5, although we did get to see him a little bit at the 5 tonight, which I much prefer over Franz Wagner. I mean, they're the same size. Why, if we're playing Moritz at the 5, yeah, we can do Paolo Banchero at the 5, I suppose. But I don't know. He looks a little flat offensively. He was doing everything else. Don't get me wrong. Like, he was distributing really well. I think he was our highest assist man here. Yeah, 5 assists, tied with Joe Ingles dishing the ball. So it was great to see the Australian out there. But I don't know. He doesn't look comfortable on the offensive side. He got to the line a few times. But what are you seeing in Paolo Banchero, ladies and gentlemen? Just looks a little out of sorts. I think he's going to find his rhythm. But 12 points on 3 of 6 from the field, 5 boards, 5 assists from Paolo. He took what the game gave him, but we want to see him asserting himself on the game, and it just did not see that. Did not see that from Paolo. Want to see him pick it up as we continue to go forward on this road stand, which is going to be quite the doozy. So what were your big takeaways from this game? Let's see what we got coming up. We've got the Trailblazers on Friday, then the Clippers and the Lakers and the Jazz. All right, so it's going to be a little bit of a stretch. I don't know if these, your boy has to go to sleep early. I'm a teacher. I wake up early. So I'm going to be talking to Peach. We're going to try to do our recaps as soon as possible after the games. We're also looking, if anyone out there has a microphone or is willing to buy a microphone, we would love to add a third cousin to this so we can get a couple people, for every single recap, just because Peach is so busy and I'm not going to be able to stay up for these West Coast games. Would you like a recap a day late on the West Coast games? We can do that, but we'll see. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the season has started. Let's just stop it right now. We're in the playoffs right now. Let's stop it. Fantastic. You can't ask for anything more. The camaraderie is off the charts right now. We love to see, Anthony Black, I mentioned it a moment before. He did get on the floor. He had the and one, and then he came back with a block. He had another block on Amen Thompson. That's where you really saw the team coming together. When Coach went through, challenged it, everyone was going crazy on the sideline. It didn't matter that we didn't win the tip. Who cares? The team is gelled. They're loving it. The vibes are high going into a West Coast trip. That's exactly what we want and what we need. I did like what I saw from Anthony Black. I just don't know where he's going to fit in and play. Caleb Houston also knocking down a couple threes. That shot is so pretty, but again, where does he play? He can't play him over. It's going to have to be, knock, nothing serious. Joe Ingles taking a seat for a couple games, giving guys like Caleb Houston and Anthony Black a chance to get out there. Jet Howard to play. Jet Howard still looking for that first NBA point. Can't wait to see him get that one. We go into Portland on Friday, another team that had a lot of changes over the offseason. So hopefully our continuity, the camaraderie that we have, can carry us into a 2-0 start. Let's see, knocking on wood. What do you think? How you feeling, Magic fans, second cousins out there after game 1? That's all for me from the Fan Attic. Your boy Kyle checking out. Peace out, everybody.